The group of holy women circled my 15-year-old in the middle of the market, hurling Bible verses at her like stones, because she refused to bow to her late father's cheating parents. What they didn't know is that I was about to turn the tables with the most satisfying evidence they'd ever seen. If you've ever felt powerless watching bullies distort the truth, smash that like button and subscribe now, because this is the moment justice finds its perfect voice. Comment below, what's the boldest stand you've ever taken for your family? I never imagined a simple weekend at the local farmer's market would become the battleground for my daughter's dignity. My name is Emily, and last year, my world was shattered when my husband died in a tragic accident, just as our marriage was unraveling under the weight of his infidelity. My daughters, 17 and 15, were left not only grieving their father's death, but reeling from betrayal. They were the first to uncover his secret life. 2 baby boys, born from his affair with another woman. Neither his mistress nor he had made any plans for those children, until his parents, my so-called in-laws, swooped in claiming they should have custody of my girls instead, arguing that the orphaned boys needed them more. They even tried to move in with us. When those 6 women cornered my youngest among the stalls, accusing her of being unchristian for refusing to play happy family with her grandparents, I felt my blood boil. Her knees shook, tears cut paths down her cheeks, and I saw that familiar tightening in my chest, the ache of watching my child bullied because she dared to protect herself. I grabbed my eldest, shoving a fistful of goodies into her hands. "Get these, walk to the car, now." Then I placed myself between the vultures and my baby. The women's voices rose, Bible verses twisted into barbs. "Honor your father and mother. A good Christian wife submits." They sneered that I, a widow and mother, failed my divine duties. My body hummed with rage, hot, electric, demanding release. They were so loud that market security asked us all to leave. Their footsteps pounded behind us as we fled, a pack chasing prey. Safe in the car, my daughters clung to me. I whispered that we would fix this, that they were brave, they were right, and that no amount of sanctimonious spite would break them. But the real storm was just beginning. That night, as my daughters slept, I messaged a friend in our church who still saw me as ally, not enemy. Between apologies for the harassment, he dropped the bombshell. My ex-mother-in-law had plastered a war story on the church's Facebook group. According to her, I and my daughters were monsters, callous, greedy, heartless. She alleged that the poor elderly had been left destitute, that the boys were stolen from her grasp by our selfish betrayal, that we refused to speak to our beloved grandparents. It was a Hallmark-style sob story with no mention of the affair or the children's real mother, who died after childbirth. My heart pounded as I scrolled through the post, comments flooding in, sympathy pouring in for the villains who had bullied my girls. My blood drained. How dare they? How dare they rewrite reality? I lay in bed, mind racing. I saw every text message, every hidden photo, every threatening email, each piece of proof shimmering in my imagination like evidence waiting to be unleashed. I realized with clarity that I held all the cards, and because the divorce was nowhere near finalized, nothing barred me from showing the world what really happened. The next morning, I took the day off. I drove to a local print shop and ordered high-quality copies of photos of my ex and his affair partner in our living room, laughing, kissing, so vividly intimate, text messages between him and the other woman plotting secret meetings, emails from his parents praising his dalliance, urging discretion, voicemails and texts they sent me demanding I drop the divorce and obey like a good Christian wife, messages they'd sent my daughters after their father died, calling them bastards and blaming them for his demise because they revealed the affair. I paid extra for glossy paper, crisp color. Then I spent hours crafting binders that mimicked the hymnals they handed out every Sunday, the same little packets of prayers and song lyrics. On the cover, I pasted the first photo, my husband's face so familiar, the other woman's countenance unmistakable. Below, neat type, John Doe and Jane Smith, true love story. Inside each binder, I arranged the evidence in chronological order, like a courtroom exhibit. Each page had bulleted captions. Lies start here. Text from July 23 saying, "She'll never know." Complicity. emails from Grandpa praising John's right to find happiness, harassment, screenshots calling my daughters shameful and the cause of his ruin. I slipped the binders into a canvas tote and headed to church. Sound effect, church organ hum. Service hadn't started yet, and the back table overflowed with song packets. No one ever checked them closely. I quietly placed 3 binders there, one for the pastor, one for the church board, and one I tucked by the bulletin rack, knowing someone else would find it. I slipped into my seat, heart thundering. During the sermon, I watched eyes flick to the binders. Whispers began, muffled at first. Then a woman gasped. A man flipped pages out loud. The pastor paused mid-verse, eyes darting back. I dared not breathe as the gossip mill roared to life. By the time the final hymn ended, outrage filled the sanctuary. The pastor's voice trembled as he admonished the congregation for their blind allegiance and promised a full investigation. My enemies' names were cursed. My ex-in-laws' defenses crumbled under the weight of their own words. Church leadership reached out to apologize, inviting my daughters and me to a private meeting to offer support. Word spread beyond the church. 2 apology letters arrived at my door the next week, one for each daughter, and an invitation for me to return when I was ready. As for my ex-in-laws, they posted their own lament on social media about elder neglect, but no one watched. Their tales of woe fell flat. The only sympathy was for me and my girls who'd been publicly shamed. In that moment, I felt it crack, the immobilizing grief and fear that had settled in my bones. Watching those binders expose the raw betrayal and the hypocrisy of people who preached love and mercy but practiced cruelty. Justice wasn't a bludgeon. It was the simple, sharp truth laid bare, and it was more potent than any sermon. My daughter sat beside me as I read the pastor's letter aloud. Promises of counseling support, community resources, genuine compassion. Their shoulders relaxed, their eyes brightened. They leaned in to hug me, whispering, "Mom, you kept your promise." Sometimes the biggest revenge is letting the truth speak for itself. It's not about revenge for its own sake, but about reclaiming dignity and showing that deception, no matter how sanctified, crumbles under the light. If this story reminded you that honesty can be the ultimate weapon, hit like and subscribe, and share your thoughts. When has the truth been your most powerful ally? Thanks for watching, and remember, the best justice is founded on facts, not fury.